Mom, what's it like being married? Takes all his things and leaves. Come on, Cyanide and Happiness. I thought you were better than this. Like, really, you were funny. You were a good comic site. I enjoyed reading your stuff. You were better than this. This is what you've come to? Really running out of jokes that badly? Come on. Come on. Special thank you to my YouTube members and patrons for supporting the channel and supporting my content. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Today we are once again going to be returning to r/AreTheStraightsOK. Now, before we begin, I wanted to mention that I will be streaming in 2 hours as of this video going up. Now, I've mentioned this previously, but I will be streaming on both Twitch and YouTube, so you can go check out the stream on whatever your preferred platform is. YouTube is actually performing a lot better than Twitch, so I think in the long run it's probably going to work out better, but for now, I'm streaming on both, so you can go check out both. Let's take a look at the subreddit, shall we? My wife yelled from upstairs and asked, "Do you ever get a shooting pain across your body like someone's got a voodoo doll of you and they're stabbing it?" I replied, "No." She replied, "How about now?" You see, it's funny because they hate their husband. Oh, it's a staple of straight boomer humor. You know, it's hilarious because they get married to people they hate. No one gets married for love. That's not a concept. Why would anybody do that? They are so cute. Just wait till they start liking the same boy. Good thing the daddies won't allow boys near them. I guess that's what shotguns are for. Oh, those poor stupid boys. They have no idea what is in store for them. Yeah, maybe we'll call Grandpa over too. Now, OP said that these kids were like 4 at the time of this being made, which typical, gross, but also OP said that apparently both the girls of this is about 13 years ago are lesbian now. So I think that worked out for them, you know? They don't need boys. They're never gonna have to date boys. They're dating girls. And nothing here says they can't do that. Finally fixed that annoying noise in my car. I just opened the door and pushed him out. You see, it's funny because they hate the husband. It's comedy. Hating the person you're married to is comedy. It's funny, right? No one gets married to people they like. Why would they do that? Why would they want to spend their life with someone they actually care and cherish? No, it's funny because they hate their spouse. Wow. He was spitting mad game with these twins all night. I don't like the fact that an adult has not only sexualized the actions of a boy that looks to be 6 or 7 years old, probably at most, but also twin girls who are like 3 years old tops. It's not a good look. It's really not a good look, is it? To be posting stuff like this about very, very young children. It's not a good look.
Yeah, but have you ever considered or comprehended anything more cucked than having a daughter? Honestly, think about it rationally. You are feeding, clothing, raising and rearing a girl for at least 18 years solely so she could go get ravaged by another man. All the hard work you put into your beautiful little girl, reading her stories at bedtime, making her go to sports practice, making sure she had a healthy diet, educating her, playing with her, all of it has one simple result. Her body is more enjoyable for the men that will eventually f*** her in every hole. Raise the perfect girl? Great. Who benefits? If you're lucky, a random man who has nothing to do with the way she grew up, who marries her. He gets to fuck her tight pussy every night. He gets the benefits of her kind and sweet personality that came from the way you raised her. As a man who has a daughter, you are literally dedicating at least 20 years of your life simply to raise a girl for another man to enjoy. It is the ultimate and final cuck. Think about it logically.
So the first thought in my mind was that this man should never be allowed around any children, regardless of whether he's related to them or not, and he should definitely not have any children. And then I realized, chances are, someone like this is never going to have children. Someone like this is never going to have a partner who wants to start a family with them. This is the kind of person who dies sad and alone, blaming women for all of their shortcomings because they hold really disgusting views like this. I find very much joy and relief in the fact that this person will likely never procreate in their whole life.
1 in 4 men are happy.
Now, the funny thing about this meme, and the ironic thing, and the thing that shows that these kinds of people are really bad at making memes, is the fact that the one guy who is assumedly supposed to be happy, the one with a guitar who is smiling, is classic meme and model Hide the Pain Harold, a man who is known for his face of smiling while looking very much in pain, you know? A man whose entire online persona is, I'm pretending to be happy, but I'm not. So I don't think he's the 1 in 4 men that are happy. I really don't, because I think he's just pretending to be, if anything. I think the most likely thing here is that it's actually the bottom left one, because they're doing this funny little thing that I know a lot of couples do, which is pretending to be mad at each other, doing this kind of exaggerated pantomime-y, like, how could you do this to me thing. I know me and Leo do this. We find it quite funny to do, and I think that a lot of couples probably do this thing. So I think they're probably the ones that are the happiest here, because I don't think they're really mad at each other. I think they're just playing a game. But also, the kind of person that made this meme, I really got a question, like, do they just not like women? Like, for a group of people that claim to be super straight and they hate the gays and they'll never date a trans person because they're super straight and all of that BS, like, they seem to really hate women. Like, really, really hate women. And it just brings a lot of questions, you know? Brings a lot of questions. 14 indicators to assess the strength of your relationship. If she scares you, she is the one. This is the worst piece of advice I could possibly have ever imagined. Should I elaborate? Do I need to elaborate? Fine, I'll elaborate. You should never date someone who scares you. This is like 14 indicators your relationship is toxic and you need to escape, is you are scared of your partner. You should never be scared of your partner. You should never be in a relationship that the actions of your partner make you physically scared of them. Ever.
When your nephew has the hots for your bestie in town.
This kid's like 4 or 5 years old again. Like, why is it so many of these straight people cannot look at a child without going, oh, that kid wants to smash? They call LGBT people groomers. They call trans people and gay people groomers. And yet they force heteronormative sexual relationships and views on children. They force this view of, oh, this kid wants to bang and this kid was spitting mad game at these children and all of these things on children. And then they have the audacity to call gay people and trans people groomers. It's hypocrisy at its finest.
My grandma is a thought.
Why is that on a baby's bib? And wait, I mean, that would be a weird thing for anyone, regardless of their age, to say, right? I'm an adult, and I think it would be really weird if I said my grandma was a thought. It's just a really weird thing for anyone to say, let alone an actual baby. I don't think the people that made this bib quite understand what the word means. Like, I'm gonna guess that that's the case here, but it's not a word that a baby should be wearing on their bib, and especially not referring to a family member. That's real weird. Like, really, really weird. I don't like that at all. Don't do that. Do not. The worst part is that bibs like this wouldn't exist if nobody bought them. So there are some people that buy this. Icky. Icky and gross. Goodbye, high school. I survived. I will never suffer again. Never. College. Job. Marriage. Oh, do you get it? It's funny because they hate their spouse. Oh, it never gets old, does it, guys? No matter how many times they talk about how much they hate their partner, it will never get old. They lied. It was old the first time. It was old before the joke was even made. It's not funny. It's not a funny joke. It's not. Marry someone you care about. Consider marry someone you care about. There are so many other things that they could have put on that foot instead of marriage to make this a funny meme, right? Even adult loneliness. Adult loneliness is a huge issue for so many people. That would have been a great one. Not marriage. That's the opposite, you know? Bills would have been another great one, you know? Paying rent, paying for electricity, buying your own food, having to clean your own house, having to deal with mental health issues when you no longer have friends and family around, like, all the time, you know? That kind of thing. There would have been so many better opportunities for this, of a really difficult thing that crushes people when they reach adulthood. And instead, they chose marriage, something that is meant to be a happy union between people that love each other. Stop it. Get some help. Father, I hear a voice every day that tells me what to do all the time. Am I possessed by the devil? no son, you are married. Oh, do you get it? Because they hate their wife. It's funny because they think their wife is controlling and they hate her. You're the one that got married to her, bro. Like, once again, I really gotta just point out the fact that all of these memes, every single time where they criticize their partner, they talk about all the issues with their partner, you're the one that chose to get married to them. You could have just not. You could have not got married to them. Have you considered that? Or, right, you could get a divorce. Those are a thing. You could do that. Have you considered? Instead of putting up with someone that you apparently hate so much you make memes about. I'll be real, most of the people making these memes probably aren't even married, but you can get a divorce. That's a legal thing you can do. And the final post, probably the most concerning one of all of them. My therapist told me to get rid of all the stressful things in my life. Husband and kids, right? The point I've already made so far is that your relationship with your husband or wife should be one of union. It should be one that you enjoy, you're both invested in. And also, raising kids, everyone knows that having kids is stressful, right? That's a known thing. Before anyone has kids, they know raising kids is stressful. It's why it's really important that you know what you're getting into before you have kids. It's so important that you are prepared to have kids before you have them. But it should be an equal thing between partners in raising kids. There should not be more stress on either one of the people. They should do things to alleviate the stress of the other. So being like, my husband causes me stress and my kids cause me stress, just calls every factor of that into question. Like, you weren't prepared for the stress of having kids, and also you weren't prepared to put up with your husband after having kids. So why are you married to him, and why did you have kids with him? It's just so incredibly frustrating that this is such a constant and consistent form of comedy. It's not comedic, it's not funny, and yet so many people push this form of toxic comedy constantly over and over and over and over. And it's just an unhealthy view of relationships, and all it's going to do is grow more unhealthy views on relationships. This isn't a type of comedy that is healthy to have. It's just not. Me and Leo went into a pub the other day and they had a board on the wall that was like, if you pay us this amount of money, we'll tell your wife that you've left. If you pay this amount of money, we'll tell your wife that you had one drink and you were gone. If we pay this amount of money, we'll tell her we haven't seen you today. If you pay this amount of money, we'll tell her we don't know who you are. And I'm like, I get that it's a joke, but it's just a joke about toxicity, and that's not funny. It's just, I'm just gonna end the video there. Toxic jokes, stop it. Stop trivializing toxicity. That's all I've got. That's all I've got to say. If you want to support me in making more content like this, then I have a Patreon in the description down below, or equally you can click on that join button on the channel to support me. It helps a lot more than you might realize. And by a lot more, I mean, like, currently all of my YouTube money goes into just paying the electricity bill here, and then I have to work to actually pay for rent and food. So genuinely, like, all of the ad revenue and the patrons and the members and everything I get on this channel actually do pay my electricity. So thank you to anybody that supports me. Like, genuinely, it means so much. All of your names are on screen because you are all incredible, wonderful people. Thank you so much to everyone that does. But by no means should you feel like you have to. I'm going to keep making content regardless. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed this. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.